So the truth is being revealed, and this is causing many Americans to really be frustrated, be furious with the current Biden administration because we've been lied to for several years. But the truth is about to come out. Today I'm going to explain what's going on, how this has impacted us over the last 3.5 years, and what we are likely to see over the next 60 plus days and leading into the Trump administration. But first, one thing you need to know is that House Democrats are planning to sabotage Donald Trump's agenda. How they plan on doing that? Well, spending the money and blocking him from doing his certain things. So, I'll break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. Okay, so the big story that has come out over the last 24 to 48 hours is this. Inside House Dems' 11th hour plot to sabotage Trump's agenda. Now, I want to break down what they are discussing. Okay, I'm not going to go over all the details, but I want to go over the big ones. Look at this right here. It says, and this is from Premier Jayapal, it says, she also said lawmakers are working on getting funds from the Inflation Reduction Act, Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, and CHIPS Act out the door as quickly as possible. One of the reasons why Democrats are worried about the money that's still sitting in the bills that has gone unspent is because the Biden administration put it out there and pretty much gave, no deadline to when the money had to be spent. Well, then they come on and say that, oh, this is creating new jobs, this is bringing down inflation. But is it? Because just this morning, look at this. Our annual inflation rate hit 2.6%. That met expectations, but it also went up. Look at that. Okay? It says the Consumer Price Index, which measures costs across a spectrum of goods and services, increased by 0.2% for the month. That took the 12-month inflation rate to 2.6, but it was 2.4% in September. Yeah. Now, let's look at the core CPI. So if you exclude food and energy, that's the core CPI. It says core CPI accelerated 0.3% for the month and was at 3.3% annually, also meeting forecasts. Okay. So inflation is going up, but the concern was we are spending money from an Inflation Reduction Act. So we were spending money from the Inflation Reduction Act. Inflation was going down. Now they're trying to get the money out the door as quickly as possible from the Inflation Reduction Act, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, and the CHIPS Act. But now we're seeing inflation go back up. That's concerning. Okay. Here's another thing that they're doing. Democrats also plan to lean on the Biden administration to fast-track citizenship and residency paperwork for immigrants. Okay. This is something that Biden said before, that he was planning to expedite citizenship, expedite work permits. It didn't happen. I got comments probably 3 or 4 months ago. Then these were people that came in from other countries, and they were simply asking, about their work permits. They were told that they'd get a work permit the second they made it into the United States. Well, a couple of them have been here for 6 to 8 months, haven't received anything. 6 to 8 months without paperwork. That was the Biden administration saying they were going to expedite all this. Okay. But look at this. And this is what I think is interesting. This is where we've been lied to. It says the U.S. economy added just 12,000 jobs in October. It says we were impacted by hurricanes and the Boeing strike. Okay. That's from CNBC. But here's what I think is interesting. We have been told that the economy is strong, businesses, right? Everyone's hiring, right? There's so many jobs that are open. Nobody should be, out of work at this time, right? But here's where many Republicans are saying that the truth is about to come out. Because Republicans are demanding that the White House preserve all the paperwork, all the documents, make sure it's all there. They don't want to be, coming into the White House on January 20th and seeing that, oh, there's a room of shredded paper, right? Where did all the documents go? The reason why they're saying that is because we've been told the economy's booming, everything's strong. But then we get a massive revision that says 818,000 fewer jobs have been added to the U.S. economy than previously reported. That right there was from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That is concerning when we are finding out that for the past year or several years, we've been overinflating our jobs numbers. And then finally, we get the report that, 818,000 jobs actually were overreported. We were a little high on our guess. Yeah. I want to play a clip for you. Okay? I'm going to play this clip. This is from Nick Langworthy. He's a Republican from the House. But listen to this clip. Okay? This is important.
This records preservation is critical. It's the law, frankly. That's the most important factor here. But we need to be able to unwind exactly what happened these last 4 years, what led to the Afghanistan withdrawal that they haven't been honest with. I mean, we saw during the campaign just how dishonest they were every single step of the way. I mean, cooking the books on jobs numbers, going, every single metric that they were able to use on crime statistics, they lied.
One thing I do want to point out there, not on the crime statistics, because again, they said crime was going down, crime actually went up. We were hearing that the economy was booming, but then 818,000 jobs, well, they were misreported. We were hearing that inflation was going down substantially. Well, yes, if you consider inflation was at 9.1% one time, yes, at 2.6, obviously inflation's gone down. But another one, especially during the campaign, during the Biden campaign, President Biden was hidden. They kept him hidden. They didn't want us to see him. Then he came out and did a debate against President-elect Donald Trump and completely botched that, right? He couldn't answer a single question. He was so flustered. You can tell he was not ready. He was not in the right state of mind. But yet everyone said, no, he was the perfect candidate. And then they said President Biden was the one that wanted to withdraw from his candidacy from the upcoming election. No, he didn't want to withdraw. He was forced to withdraw his candidacy. That's what we heard, that he was forced. Because if he didn't withdraw, they were going to pretty much pull him from the White House, push in Kamala Harris as technically the 47th president, and she would have run the last several months. That's what we're hearing now. Let's keep listening.
And misled people. These are things that we need to get the full story, because otherwise it's really tough to lead going forward when you don't know where we've been for the last 4 years. And we need to use our full oversight authority to go through that information.
Yeah, it's a good point, because for so long we were hearing from the Democrats about how great job creation is until they quietly changed it, and Bureau of Labor Statistics comes out and says, well, 818,000 jobs were actually non-existent. Same with crime. For a little while we're hearing, oh, crime is down. Yeah, don't believe your own eyes. And then of course.
One thing I do want to point out there, when they're saying crime is down, technically, crime was down, because we were getting reports that police could not actually arrest those people. You could, for a petty theft, nope. Oh, they only stole $2,000 today? It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Just claim it on your insurance. File an insurance claim. You'll be okay. And the insurance company's like, no, we're not paying that. We're definitely not paying that. Right? Those people should have been, prosecuted. They should have been in jail. You should have got the inventory back from the store. Oh, they mugged you and stole your cell phone? Well, sorry. It's the Tren de Aragua. It's a international gang. We can't go after them. Not today. Right? We just can't do it. Yeah, that's the reason why technically crime was down because they were not actually reporting it as a crime because it wasn't enough. Let's keep listening.
Of course, quietly, they revised it and said, no, crime is actually up. So I'd like to, will the public know what you find out when you actually get these documents? And
this is the big one. Will the public find out? Once they know, will the public then find out? For me, that's important. We need transparency.
And will you be getting them, do you think?
Well, I think this is records preservation going into the end of this administration, into the next. The good news is we keep the gavels. You know, we have the full investigative authority. We can't be stonewalled by Democrats. We can't be stonewalled in the Senate by Democrats anymore. We have a mandate from the people under President Trump's, leadership that we will, put an agenda forward and get things done. But that also includes a very important look back as to what has gone on in this country for the last 4 years that we don't know about, that they've hidden from Congress, and getting those answers is critical to going forward and putting an optimistic future in place.
It doesn't.
Right there, he says that they're going to pretty much go back and look and see what has been hidden from Congress, hidden from the American people. Here's what I hear. They're not just going to look to see what the jobs reports, the numbers, right, the statistics. That's not all they're going to look at. They're going to look at the spending from all these different agencies. That's what they're going to look at. Because here's what I can tell you. All the spending that we have, all the money that has been allocated to certain, agencies, to certain projects, right, the Biden agenda, here's what we are now figuring out. There's billions and billions of dollars of unspent money. It has not been spent, but yet the Biden administration doesn't want to go and reallocate that money elsewhere. They want to keep that money where it is, somewhat hidden, so that when they're ready to spend it, they can. That's a concern because, again, we have overspent for the last several years, not just going back to the Biden administration. Even under the Trump administration, when going through COVID, we overspent. We have massively overspent, and we now know that. So, the new administration, the second Trump administration, is going to come in. They're going to start looking at this and figuring out where the Biden administration overspent, where that money is still sitting, and how they can reallocate that. And hopefully, it'll go to the American people. But we will see. All I know right now is that the truth is about to be revealed and that the plot to sabotage Trump, well, this could be slowed down because the House Republicans, they will have the majority, not Democrats, which means Trump is going to have the Oval Office, Republicans will hold the majority in the Senate, and they will have the majority in the House. So, a lot of big things are happening right now, but as soon as we get more information, I promise I will bring you all the latest news and updates. But that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.